Happy Saturday. What are we working on today? We're building a little, let's call it a stand, mobile stand for the 612. I'm trying to get everything ready to get prepped for paint. And I want to make a little bit kind of a different stand to put the transmission differential assembly on to be able to roll it around and get to the bottom of it to paint it. So just a quick rundown of what I'm going to do here. I got some junk boards, some 4x4s, some 2x4s, whatever I had laying around, cut up. These will be the back of the transmission will sit here. The front of the differential will sit here. The axles will be like this. Then I'll put some layers of 3/4 plywood on the bottom and putting some casters underneath the bottom of that. Put some big heavy leg screws, construction screws to hold it all together, and we'll call it good enough. I'm not going to do nothing fancy. I considered doing a big fancy angle iron bolted together framework like Squatch does, but I don't feel like getting that fancy for this job, but I did think about it. So yeah, I'll throw this together and I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. Hopefully it'll work. There we go. An hour later, we got a pretty much finished product. I just need some casters, and those are ordered. So what I did is I took 3 layers of 3/4 inch plywood, construction adhesive in between them, screwed them all over the place, top and bottom, through all 3 layers. So that's all sandwiched together good. I took a couple of seconds and did put a nice 1/4 inch round over on them because thinking kind of ahead here, once I'm done with the 612 project, I can take these back off and still have a nice little mobile base to roll around future projects on. And then I screwed together everything else. Big long screws going down on the top here. Great big screws with washers going up through the bottom there, so that's good and strong. I mean, it ain't going anywhere. This was just some other junk put together, screwed through the side, screwed through the top, again screwed up through the bottom. So that's good and strong. Ain't gonna go nowhere. So yeah, once I get some casters, I can put them on and then put the whole housing on top of this and see if it works. But I think it would. I think it will. I know some people sometimes wonder why it takes so long to restore a tractor. Well, people that have never done it before, they just don't quite understand how long it takes to do certain things if you really want to make everything just right. If you remember, this shaft was a little sticky before. Okay, I'll come out here and I'll get that straightened up today. So I probably just spent the last, a half an hour getting this shaft fit and fine-tuned so it slips and slides freely. So I just take a file and some emery cloth and clean out the bores and take little burrs off and run it in and out and see where the high spots are and take a little file and dress it a little bit and emery cloth it a little bit and try it again and figure out where it's sticking and clean up the bore a little bit where it's shiny, where it's rubbing. And you just keep doing that until it's a nice slip fit again. So there it is. It may seem like, why go through all that effort? It worked before. It was just a little sticky. Yeah, but this is also controlling your clutch. So any little stick in that is going to affect how smoothly your clutch operates. So it's worth the time to get it to operate properly because it's going to pay dividends in the end when the machine operates as it should. So anyway, just to kind of show again how this all works, I got the spring on here. I got it kind of straightened back out into the shape it should be. I'm having a hard time locating a spring this size and shape. McMaster-Carr didn't really have any that was the same. They have one that's smaller around, but it's kind of close to the size of this shaft. It doesn't have the play that this one does. It would probably work, but I'm going to keep looking around a little bit and see if I can find something a little bit better. Otherwise, maybe try making one, because you can buy like piano wire, a special wire, and turn up a spring on a lathe. Basically, you take a mandrel and you wind it around and make it. Anyway, if we get to that, I'll show you. But just to kind of show how this operates again, pretend my fingers here are the shift, or the clutch fork rather. There'll be a pin through that hole with my fork where my fingers are. So that that would be clutch engaged, which is the tractor is on a normal basis. And then when you pull back on the clutch lever, that pushes that rod, which disengages the clutch because it's pushing on that throwout bearing to disengage the clutch. And then, like I said, when you get to the very end of the stroke, it engages the brake band inside there. So just to kind of, again, show how that all works. And then that spring is just to return it back to engaged, or whatever, neutral, whatever you want to call it, where it should be. So yeah, that part of it is good to go. I'm just trying to button up all these little loose ends to get things ready to paint, because hopefully we'll be able to do that in the, say, next couple weeks is kind of my goal. When I get back home tonight, I'll show you what kind of stuff I've rounded up for, as far as painting wise. I've gotten some stuff here, I got some stuff ordered, I got a few things I need to order yet. But yeah, it's slowly but surely we'll keep pecking away at it. Okay, let's go over what I've rounded up so far. I don't think I've covered this yet. A while back I splurged and I bought myself a brand new spray gun. I didn't have one. It was one of those things I went round and round on whether I should buy those cheap $20, $40 Harbor Freight specials or go with something a little bit better. I ended up going with something a little bit better. It's not, well, it's not top of the line, but it's not cheap by any means. This gun was about $200, but it seems like a very good quality gun. Build construction, it's all metal, there's no plastic. It seems like all the adjustments are nice and smooth. Obviously I haven't used it yet, so I'll let you know what I think about it once I actually use it. But on initial inspection, it seems like a pretty nice gun. And what I liked about it is, compared to most guns you buy, it comes with one tip size. This gun comes with 4 different tip size. Comes with 1.3, 1.4, 1.5, and 1.8. So you can spray a lot of different products with it, because different products, depends on how thick or thin they are, need different size fluid tips. I'm far from an expert on painting by any means, but I know that much. So here's the other tip sets that it came with, so you can just swap it out. So essentially you're buying 4 guns for the price of 1, if you want to look at it that way. It comes with a little air regulator. It has the big aluminum cup on it. A lot of them you see, it's got such a small cup, so you're constantly refilling it. I kind of wanted a little bit bigger one, just for that reason. So that's kind of what I know about it so far. I'll show you all the information on the box if you're all looking for something similar. like I said, I'll give you another review, so to speak, once I actually use it. See if I actually like it. I hope so. So that takes care of that. I also picked up the primer. I went with this Napa Martin Senior brand of paints because we have a Napa local, so I can get this local. I'm gonna have to order it. Went with this Crossfire, what do call it, system series of paint. I don't know what to really say about it so far. So you got your epoxy, you need the reducer and the hardener. It's all one system, and you got to mix it at the correct ratio. I believe this is 8 to 4 to 1, but assuming that's the same as the paint, which I believe it is. Talking with my friend Roger, who just recently painted a tractor with the same product, he was saying that that ratio made it a little bit too thin, so he backed off on the reducer just a little bit. So I'll probably do that right from the beginning, back off on the amount of reducer and see how it works. And if anything, you can always add a little bit more, but once you add it, you can't take it back out. So just a little FYI on that. I have not got the paint yet here. I wanted to confirm a couple more things, and I've done that now, so I'll probably try to order that this week, and maybe with any luck that'll be here. Just trying to round up everything, because I don't know if I've talked about this yet or not. I think I'm going to paint this sub-assembly of tractor, because if you leave it in primer and wait until the whole tractor is together and then paint it as a whole entire tractor assembly, it's better for painting with some aspects. It's harder with some aspects because you have more pieces. But what I'm more concerned about is if I just leave it in primer at this point in time, we all know that primer is going to get dirty and contaminated between now and when I actually get around to painting it. So potentially that's going to cause issues with the paint, being contaminated. Say you're touching it with your bare hands, you're leaving oil on that primer. That's going to get into your paint if you don't clean it very well. All that kind of stuff. So I'm thinking I'm going to put at least a coat of paint on it now. I might have to get the sub-assemblies painted with at least a coat or two of paint. Get the entire tractor together once I have all these sub-assemblies done, and then possibly give the whole tractor one more light coat of paint once it's all together, just to hit all the bolt heads and things that would get nicked up as you assemble it. I don't know. I haven't got to that point yet. I'm not worried about that quite yet. That's just what I know at this point in time. Anyway, also picked up some cone strainers to strain the paint when you put it into the gun. I have some more of them ordered because all we can get is these stupid little packs in town, little 4-packs. I ordered a great big quantity from online, significantly cheaper too. But anyway, this will get me started. I ordered a little gun holder rack that you can clip this in, and then it holds your strainer above for, just makes putting it together, or putting the paint in it rather, that much easier. I could have made one, but it was so cheap online that I just ordered one and been done with it. I got a cheap little set of brushes, just to, if there's any little hard to reach places, in behind bolt heads or whatever that I can't quite get with the spray gun, that I can get in there and maybe touch up little spots if necessary. I got a full body, whatever you want to call it, coverall, the hood, everything. So I'll be covered head to toe to protect me a little bit from all the chemicals of the paint. Of course, some latex glove or whatever these are. They aren't latex. These are whatever, nitrate. How do you say that? Not latex. Latex free. Anyway, rubber gloves. So yeah, that's kind of what I know at this point. I guess figured I'd just give you a little bit of an update on painting wise. Like I said, if I can get Oh, and then I ordered some casters for my little stand that I made. So those should all be here hopefully this week. So once get a few more little things buttoned up, and maybe with any luck, be somewhat ready for paint by next weekend, or I'm thinking realistically probably the weekend after by the time I get everything ready. And we'll have to play by the weather here too. Excuse me. Play by the weather and see what it's going to be like, because that's one thing too with the reducer. There's different temperature reducers. You can get like cool reducer, this is warm reducer, and like hot reducer. So depending on what the temperature is outside, you get the right reducer. It's all about finding that right balance. And then the warm is for the middle ground, if it's not too hot, not too cold. It's a pretty broad spectrum with the warm. I think it was like 65 to 85 or something like that. So that'll pretty much cover any temperature I'm going to be painting at this time of the year in this part of the world. Because yeah, if you get the wrong reducer, I know a little bit about this from work. We paint cabinets at work. I work at a custom cabinet shop. A little bit apples and oranges because they're completely different products, cabinet stuff versus automotive tractor stuff. But it's certain things, it's kind of the same principles as far as drying. In our shop, it's more climate controlled. It's basically the same temperature year round because it's air conditioned in the summer, heated in the winter, so we can keep it at a pretty consistent temperature. So the different reducers don't really affect us that much at work. But still, you got to have the correct one, because if you have it flashing off, the paint flashing off too fast when you spray it, that creates issues. You get like little nibs and bubbles and stuff, because if it flashes over too fast before all those chemicals in the paint that evaporate, if they don't get a chance to evaporate before your product skins over, you're going to have issues. So you got to have it, basically what it comes down to, you got to have it dry at the appropriate speed. Not too fast, not too slow. It's all about controlling the speed of that drying. So just a little overview on painting if you haven't done any painting. And like I said, I'm far from an expert, but I've picked up a couple of things along the way. So that's what I know for now. I think I'm going to wrap this video up. See if I have enough to put together one for this week. And if I do, post it. And I will see you guys next weekend and show you what hopefully things have came between now and then. And we'll go from there. So thanks for watching.